The men's track and field team lives up to their #1 national ranking with a win at their home quadrangular meet. The team looks to continue their success this weekend at 2 separate meets. There's only one place you can catch all the Cardinal sports action, right here on the Cardinal Report. Welcome to the Cardinal Report. I'm Marc Dahlquist. Joining me to start things off this week is men's indoor track and field head coach, Frank Gramarosso. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Coach, even though it's been a condensed schedule, this team's really had some success early on this year.
We've had some great success so far, and it's a lot of fun to see everybody improve, and the 3rd season in our home track, so it's great to stay home and see some of those performances excel on our great track.
You guys come into the season 2-time defending national champions. You know, that's got to feel good coming in, you know, knowing that you guys are the best of the best so far.
Yes, and you know, we had a preseason ranking #1, and the first rankings of the season were #1. Today or tomorrow we should find out the second rankings. So the guys are upholding that ranking week by week and doing the best that they can.
And they don't really seem to shy away from it. They know they're #1. They know that people are probably gunning for them, but they've really performed, you know, like they deserve that #1 ranking.
Sure, and you know, it's kind of a dual thing where there's you know, there's dual meet rankings, who has the best kind of dual meet team, and then there's the national rankings that you know, a school can come out of the woodwork with 3 superstars that can win 2 or 3 events each, and all of a sudden it's like, where did that team come from? But we're still holding our end of it, both as a conference level, you know, team and a dual meet high-level team, and of course we're putting together a great national squad.
Now you guys, you know, you have some superstars on the team, but it's really about the depth of this team that is the reason it's up there in the rankings.
Yeah, you look at, you know, nowadays with all the technology, every weekend it gets addicting. You can look on a TFER site and see all the meets around the country and see Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, and everybody knows what everybody else is doing. So that led to the removal of a qualifying standard. So week by week, you see who's in the top 13, and by March, who's ever in that top 13 is going to get invited to nationals, and then we'll kind of see what kind of teams, you know, are in the hunt for a national title.
And you guys, you know, you continue that quest for a 3rd straight national title. This weekend, at your quadrangular home meet, the team comes home with the victory.
Yeah, it was, you know, at Whitewaters, they just got bounced out of 2nd place as a tough dual meet team. Augustana moved up a spot, so they're behind us. And, you know, week by week, you don't always run your top guys in certain events. And Whitewater's going to have a really good national team, and they have a big invitational this weekend. I'm assuming we'll see some of their athletes in their primary event. So it was a little lopsided score, and every time you're traveling that distance, you're probably not going to bring everyone. Just like we're just going to, out of 110 guys, we're only going to take like 48 or 50 going to Whitewater this weekend. So.
Well, the Cardinal Report was there to see the team's latest victory at the North Cenrtal Quadrangular Meet. In case you missed it, let's go to the highlight. Al B. Carius Track, the site for the North Cenrtal College Indoor Track and Field Quadrangular Meet. Defending men's national champions and head coach Frank Gramarosso looking to maintain their #1 national ranking. In the pole vault, John Wood attempting 17 feet 3/4 inches. He would clear it and take 2nd. It was teammate Josh Winder who would take the top spot, clearing 17 feet 4.5 inches by the hair of his chinny chin chin. He gets some love from his coach and father, Tim Winder. In the weight throw, Robert Kapuska took 2nd with a hurl of 58 feet 1/4 inch, but he returned for the shot put where he would take the title with an impressive 52 feet 1 3/4 inch toss. Zach Hirspink won the high jump in the Cardinal opener meet, and he does it again this day, clearing 6 feet 9 inches. Kalen Petty took 2nd in the long jump with a 21-foot 4 3/4 inch leap, but freshman teammate Tynan Johnson flew 21 feet 6 1/4 inch through the air for another first for the Cardinals. Petty rebounded in the triple jump, winning with a jump of 42 feet 11 inches. Cardinals were flying on the track as well, as Petty joined Nicholas Galani's Michael Valera and Nicholas Baumgartner, going 1 through 4 in the 60-meter hurdles, with Galani's taking first. We head to the mile race where Jonathan Moscati set the pace early, followed by Kevin Buntman of Wisconsin Whitewater and Cardinal Ryan Thompson. As they head into the final lap, it's Moscati hearing the bell, and he knows it's time to turn on the jets. That's exactly what he does, as he opens a big lead, and he goes on to win with a time of 4 minutes 19 seconds, with Ryan Thompson taking third. Back to the sprints we head, and this time it's the 200-meter dash, with Dan Benton in lane 5 for the Cardinals looking strong in the first 100 meters. On the back turn, Benton would pull ahead of Dylan Crafton of Wisconsin Whitewater, and they're neck and neck down the stretch. Benton would edge him out, setting a facility record in the event with a time of 22.18 seconds. It was more of the same for North Central in the 400-meter dash, but this time the Cardinals had some company at the front of the pack. Deontay Hackler and Mustafa Oleo go 1 and 2 respectively, as John Howard ran exhibition. Hackler cracked 50 seconds with a time of 49.66 seconds for the top spot. The Cardinals would end this meet in style in the 4x400 relay. Baikaba leading off, competing in his only event of the day, flies through the opening leg before handing the baton off to Mustafa Oleo, who extends the lead. Deontay Hackler shows he still had plenty of energy left, as he would take care of the third leg before handing it off to Dan Benton to anchor. Benton already set one record today, and why not add another, as the relay team shatters the facility record with a time of 3 minutes 16 seconds. And the Cardinals go on to win the meet easily at home with a total of 243 points.
So, Coach, we talked about the depth in this team a little bit. There were a lot of events where the Cardinals went 1-2. What does that do for you as a coach? How do you know who to put into these events then?
Well, we let each coach from their event area help in the design of when they want their athletes to be in a particular event. So we kind of consider our assistants as head coaches of their event areas. And one example is the pole vaulters are going to train hard 2 vault days this week, so they're not going to compete on Friday. And I trust Tim Winder as a vault coach. He's doing what's best for his guys. But yeah, that's what we look for, is the top 2 in every event go into that dual meet ranking. So we want to have 2 guys perform very well, but going to the conference championships, you can put 5 in every event. So wow. We're still looking for some more depth in some other areas, but we're really filling a well-rounded team in a lot of event areas. Some great national events and others great conference events, and we still have to work on some numbers in some areas, but we're putting things together real well.
Yeah, talk about the pole vaulters for a little bit. I mean, it's almost like you got to trust them. They're the only 2 in Josh Winder, and John Wood that have cleared 17 feet so far this year.
Yeah, we're waiting for, Peter Garrity's nursing an injury that he suffered this summer, but he's a 17-foot vaulter, and, Tom Stacy, is having a late start, but the vault crew's together. You just never know when something's going to go wrong or, battling some injuries or illnesses, but they're at the top of their game, and we're looking forward to, better heights, as we go along in the season.
So with such a shortened season, do you sort of, train the team differently in indoor as you would in outdoor?
Well, there is a fall training program for athletes not in cross country or in football, and we rely on that program. But under NCAA rules, there's only so many contact periods you can have with a coach, and our fall training ends November 3rd. So if some guys decide they're going to take the month of November, and then we're out of school in December, a few weeks lead into a month, and they start all over again. So it's a tricky way to approach it, but we have to rely on them knowing what to do and trying to come in some kind of decent shape, so when they're with their event coach, they get better.
And you guys got 2 meets coming up this weekend. One's for multi-event athletes, and the other one is at Wisconsin Whitewater, like you said. How are you going to approach these next few meets? Are you going to rest guys in preparation for upcoming CCIW championships, or do you want guys to try and get those times down?
Yeah, some guys have to get marks yet. Again, when we switch around in meets and some guys run above their distance, some guys below, some guys try other field events, but we have to get marks for the conference championships, and we only have 3 more meets to do that. Otherwise, you're not sure what heat or flight or section you'll end up with. So week by week, again, each coach, along with input from their athlete, determines. We kind of try to work backwards, you know. What do you want to do at conference? And then we have to plan the meet schedule to end up where you want to be at conference.
And it seems like you have a lot of those versatile athletes that could do, you know, 2, 3, or maybe even 4 events at conference.
That's right. So we don't want to overwork them, but certainly some of them can.
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys have some success in conference and on to nationals.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, because after the break, Coach and I will be joined by 2 athletes that were setting records on Saturday. Keep it right here on the Cardinal Report.